no, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Hey. I need to mute that shit so it's not echoing.
All right, I think we are here.
It's just the wait.
Yeah, we'll wait for some people to filter in. Do you want to type something in the chat and make sure it's all working? Whack. All right. Yes, let us go. We are live. Looks like we've got somebody else in the chat as well.
Lettuce.
What is up, Senju? Lettuce. Let us indeed. Let us begin. Wait and see if a few more people hop in. All right, everything looks good here. Everything is looking good. Hey, what's up, man? So we are going to be doing the Diecast news tonight. I wanted to start doing it on a live stream as well as the normal videos. So I've got everything ready here and just kind of waiting for a few more people to filter in and we will just kind of go through. I want to, like, the main thing is, like, I want to hear everybody else's thoughts too. So yeah, we're going to do Diecast news tonight. I'll probably post the VOD of this live stream afterwards. And then probably do just the normal video too, just for anybody that doesn't want to watch the live stream. Send you. I went and checked out the BBR AR box Ferrari F80 on AliExpress. Yeah, I was looking at them last night, and because I was kind of thinking about getting one as well, and I was not very happy with that price. But we'll get to it here in a bit once we get to the AR box news. I think they're releasing them as just regular releases later on. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I don't think I could pay that much for it. $160 to $200 is crazy. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's really
That's a lot of
cool.
money.
Yeah, also, you guys, I do have my brother here in Discord with me. He's just chilling and hanging out as well. So if you hear an ominous voice in the background, it is him. Yeah, that's what I saw that too. And like I said, we'll get into that. The panel gaps around the doors are huge. I don't know. I really like all these opening parts models, but the doors are just kind of um I don't know. I feel like the doors aren't necessary at this scale. If it's like a 143, then yeah, but with 164 it's just I don't know. Cuz they can do like the front and rear panels they can do with magnets, which they like Motor Helix, Airbox, they've been doing a good job with it. Even Trends Hobby is doing a pretty good job with it, but the doors are just unnecessary to me. You'll just wait for the LaFerrari. Yeah, the LaFerrari is going to be pretty cool too. But yeah, how are you guys doing? You guys having a good week so far? You guys picking up any cool diecasts lately? I've been kind of slowing down myself. I don't know if it's that there just hasn't really been a lot coming out, but it's also been nice to save a little bit of money too. But all right, I think we're pretty much ready here. So, of course, as always, we start off with Mini GT. So as you can see, there has been an update for this guy right here. This is 1218. Doing good. Everything revealed from HEC was fire. It was. There was so much stuff. It was insane. Like, this is, I think, my longest news video to date, like the most amount of content. I think I have like over 350 photos here. So it's going to be a long one. But anyways, Mini GT, here is the Rexy. They did update it. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I sat here and looked at this for probably 10 minutes, and I don't really. I think I pointed out or noticed two things that they updated on this casting. One thing is the logos on the tires are different. So on this front wheel right here, it's got a little bit like smaller Michelin logo than the old version, but the back tire looks pretty similar to me. Maybe it's a little bit different as well. And then the only other thing that I can see on this one is that the little oil can or oil container he has in his hand is like slightly smaller. But at least they're updating things to make them more accurate to the real car. I'll never complain about that. So there is that. The other big update as far as Mini GT, this guy right here is canceled. 1187. It's the top secret VR32 in stealth gray. This is canceled. I don't really know what's going on with Nissan lately. It seems like they're getting more strict about their licensing. As you guys know, a while back they started doing an actual licensing sticker for their models. Before that, you could just print it on, which I think there were some companies out there lying about it. But um, I don't think Nissan likes top secret anymore. It's just a hunch I have. I don't know if there was a lot of shady stuff going on with licensing with some other brands. But yeah, it appears that they're not going to be licensing Top Secret anymore, and we'll get to it later, but Ignition Model has also canceled their Top Secret Nissan stuff as well. So kind of interesting, kind of unfortunate, because now it's like the only way we're going to get Top Secret Nissan stuff in 164 scale is if people do it without Nissan approval, which is just icky to me. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that, but a little bit disappointing there. Regular pre-orders, though, we had one on March 30th, and this is a pretty big one, pretty solely because of that 963. We've been waiting for the Porsche 963 to be announced, at least a new color of it. We had the Le Mans box set, but we're finally getting one from, is this IMSA? Yeah, IMSA. So this is 2025 IMSA Daytona 24 Hours winner. It's the number 7 car, so that's really cool. And then this on the left side, the Mazda Miata MX-5 Pandem is also a new casting, I believe, and that one's also an IMSA livery throwback, similar to the Liberty Walk RX-7 that came out a while back. So this one should actually be licensed by IMSA, which is pretty cool. So you got Mazda, Pandem, and IMSA for this one. And then there's that Veilside Fortune 7 RX-7 in green. That is not a new casting, but this, I believe, is only the second color that we've seen of it so far. I might be wrong. There might be one on pre-order. But yeah, so then the Penske Porsche 963 is awesome. We got an Aston Martin DBS in Stratus White. And then the Huracan GT is back as well. We got the Gravity one recently, and we've seen a couple shown off at events and stuff, but this one's on pre-order now. It's called Street Customs is the name of this livery. So there's that. And then also the Mazda AZ1 Liberty Walk LB40, the AutoZam, is back as well. This one is in like that Athlete Colette livery, which we've seen on the Silhouette S15 and the R34. So we'll have a little trio of them now. Pretty good pre-order, honestly. I think I want just about everything here, except I might skip the AutoZam just because I don't really need a ton of them. But that 963 is going to be awesome, and I know a lot of people are excited for it. Also, if you guys want to make sure that you secure any models on pre-order, I would definitely recommend putting a pre-order in for the 963 and this Huracan GT if you want it. I think that those will end up selling out pretty quick and then being price gouged like a lot of stuff has been lately. You picked up the 963. Nice. I did
Hell
too.
yeah.
I put a pre-order in on this pre-order, I put the pre-order in, like I was saying, for the Porsche and the Lambo, so won't have to pay absurd prices later, which is a good thing. So, but up next, we've got this pre-order, which was on April 9th. Just 4 for this one, which is because they also put out a pre-order for a box set, which we'll look at after this. But this is a pretty nice one. Another Bugatti Bolide, which we still have not gotten the other colors of it. There's a red one and a blue one on pre-order, and they're still not here yet. Hopefully, they're coming soon. It feels like they've been taking forever, but I actually went back and looked at the numbers of them, and they're really not that far behind. There's a Porsche 911 GT3 RS that's still on pre-order that's in like the 800s. And the Bugatti Bolides I think are all over 1,000. But anyways, it looks really good with the yellow. Definitely be picking that one up. I also really do like this Liberty Walk Super Silhouette RX-7 in the police livery. I don't know if you guys know about the old GTR that Mini GT did that was in the police theme. It came with a couple figures. It was like a little like square box limited edition. This one will look pretty cool to that, but not a lot of people have that one from what I've seen. That one's pretty rare now, but this one's really cool. I like it. We've got an old F1 car. It's the McLaren MP4/4. The number 12 car. This is Art and Senna's, of course, from 1988 Canadian Grand Prix winner. So that one's really cool as well. It's got the tire printing. It obviously does not have the Marlboro logos on it, which is kind of unfortunate. I'm curious to see if Mini GT will include decals with this, but I'm not sure because they're doing this all in collaboration with the Senna Foundation. That's why you see it actually has Senna in the cockpit. So I don't know if they'll allow that, but it'll be interesting to see. It's cool either way. So, and the last but not least for this one, the Shelby GT500 Dragon Snake concept in chrome silver. When this pre-order came out, I saw this and I was like, I don't really understand why they did that in chrome. And then my buddy Pulse Drivers, I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about him. He showed me a photo of an old Shelby, which is what all of these are kind of based on. Like it's a big like homage to the old Shelbys. There actually was one in chrome, so this one's actually justified, and I'll probably end up picking that up as well. But yeah, a pretty good mix there, just four, and it is because of this right here. This was also announced on April 9th. This is a 4-car box set, and it is the Huracan Storado all-terrain set. This is Mini GT set number 26, and like I said, it'll have all 4 of these. So I don't know exactly which name corresponds to which color, but there's basically like 4 themes. There's the Neve, the Sabia, the Bosco, and the Terra, and that's what each one of these is. And so this is really cool. There's a little bit of history behind it, and there's like a story behind the themes of these. I haven't actually looked into it yet, but I thought this was pretty cool, and I did pre-order this one as well. So yeah, pretty cool. This one, at least as far as in the US, I believe it's going to go for about $60. If you order it from RC Mart, they do actually have it up for pre-order right now. I think they have it for like 50. But yeah, definitely a good one to pre-order. I don't think this one's going to be as crazy popular as some of the other box sets. Like we had that Ruby Star Porsche box set not too long ago. I think that one's going to go crazy. I don't think this one will be quite as hyped, but still a good one to pre-order if you don't want to miss out on it for sure. Up next, they also did. Miho announced this actually. These are two. They're not, as far as I know, these are USA exclusives, like actual USA exclusives, and it's pretty much like a 250th anniversary of the United States. So pretty cool. There's a Corvette ZR1 and also the Ford Mustang GTD and that like red, white, and blue flag theme. They're both pretty cool. I'll pick them up. I'm usually not too crazy about. I don't know. I'm not too crazy about stuff that's like America themed. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense because like I'm American, but I don't know. To me, it's always a little bit cheesy depending on how it's done, but these are pretty cool and I'm sure a lot of people will appreciate them. So there are those. Next up, we do have a couple new castings for the James Bond line, and I've actually been waiting on that Aston Martin V8 Vantage. I've been very excited for that one. But yeah, so we have the Aston Martin DB5 from Casino Royale. That's Mini GT number 909. And then the Aston Martin V8 Vantage from the Living Daylights and that's Mini GT number 916. Really like the V8 Vantage. This thing, every time I see it, it reminds me of the old school Mustangs. And I kind of just refer to this car as the British Mustang. And I watched the Living Daylights recently, and it was really cool in the movie. So I'm definitely gonna pick that up. And if you see like close up photos of the actual renders, the wheels and everything on it is super well done. So that one's gonna be really cool. Next up, Hobby Expo China, HEC. That's pretty much like the big thing that has been going on this past week. But this was Mini GT's event set for it. It is an AO Racing, like it was just a big like AO Racing like celebration over there apparently. But that's the box that they released. It has Rexy and Roxy. Neither of these are actual race cars. These are kind of just like the show cars that AO Racing takes around and like shows off. So they're not actually from a race. It does come with a little trophy. And yeah, the price on this set is ridiculous. It's limited to 5,000, so there's quite a lot of them. But apparently, these things were getting bought up like hotcakes over there. So, which makes sense. There's a ton of collectors in China. But yeah, that's the event model. Here's the Kaido House stuff for HEC. So the one on the left-hand side, the black and red one, was just the regular event model. And the one on the right side with the purple was the One Night in China exclusive, which is their dinner car exclusive. Now, as far as I know, just going back to the Mini GT, I don't believe that Mini GT actually had a dinner model for this event. Normally, they'll have an event model and a dinner car, same as Kaido House, and that's how it's been pretty much every year at HEC and Malaysia Diecast Expo. But they didn't do a dinner car this year. They just did this set. I think there might have been some AO Racing merch that was exclusive to the dinner, but there was no diecast as far as I know. Only Kaido House. Next up, this actually just surfaced a couple days ago. I haven't had time to actually look into what this collaboration is, but it's some sort of event in Japan, and they're going to be releasing both of these models with an exclusive packaging. So these models are not exclusive. These are actually both already on pre-order. So like, don't get FOMO over these.
Those
It
look
is
pretty cool.
just an exclusive. Yeah, they're pretty cool. The blister is neat. But yeah, these are just regular releases just for an event over there. And I have both of them pulled up here as well. It's the Mazda RX-7 RE Mimiya from 2025 D1 Grand Prix, and then the Nissan Sylvia S15 Super Silhouette. So yeah. Cube cars. I don't know if anybody actually really cares about these here. I don't. I know there's a big following for it in the Asia region. So any of you from Asia, yeah, I don't know. It's not my thing. I don't really get excited for it. I won't be collecting these, but I will show off the Cube Cars stuff that comes out. So this is the new Cube Cars pre-order from Mini GT if you are interested. Up next, Kaido House pre-order. Some pretty cool stuff here. I hear a lot of people call Kaido House Recolor House, and it kind of makes me laugh, but that is really what they do quite a bit. And I know Mini GT does as well, but yeah. So we've got a Toyota A86 Sprinter Trueno Kaido Racing. Then we have a Chevy Silverado Kaido Intimidator V2, the Honda NSX Kaido Test Car Spec V2, and then the Nissan Skyline GTR R32. KHTC. I don't even know what that means. V1. Livery on that R32 is actually kind of cool. It reminds me of the old R32s that ran in the Japan touring car series back in the day. Yeah, so there's Kaido House pre-order. There was also a limited edition. I don't know where this one was released or if this was just one of their website drops, but it's in this cool like antifreeze green color. It's actually kind of a neat color, but you know, just all the chrome stuff is, I mean, chrome Kaido House, it's it's been overdone for a long time. They need to, in my opinion, they need to think of something else to do for their limited drops, but there is that. They also did have a black limited edition drop in Venice, and it was limited to 200. It was the BMW M3 E30, and from the pictures I've seen, it looks like it's in this like dark green metallic color. So there's that as well. Gavin, this HEC exclusive, not a sub thing. What do you mean? What do you mean not a sub thing? Okay, so getting into the actual HEC news, Mini GT at their dinner had their slideshow where they show off like all the like all the important stuff, all their upcoming projects and whatnot. The green R34 was green R34. Oh, are you talking about this one right here? This limited edition? This one was HEC exclusive? Oh, I guess that would make sense. I did see photos of it at the Kaido House booth. I didn't realize it was Kaido House or the HEC exclusive drop for it though. Yeah, that makes sense. I appreciate you clearing that up for me. I'm just looking on Kaido House's Instagram right now. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, this was the HEC drop for it. Cool. All right, thank you. I appreciate that. But anyways, so new blister packaging. I've been complaining about this for quite a while because I think the reason they changed it from a J hook to a triangle was because in a lot of European countries, their like peg system on their shelves doesn't really work well with the J hook, and so they changed it to the triangle. But they decided to like they decided to heat press this triangle, and it makes it really, really hard to get the card out. A bunch of people have been complaining about it, and so they decided to extend the blister upwards and then put the triangle up there. So now the blisters are going to be way longer with a lot
Oh
more
yeah.
wasted plastic. The good thing about it is there's not going to be a triangle hole in the card anymore, which is a pretty good thing, even though there's a giant rectangular hole down behind the box where the box is. But yeah, new blister updating. They're also going to be updating their acrylic window molds in the cars to make them, from what I'm understanding, it's basically to improve quality on it, because there's been models where there's big gaps in between like the top of the car and the window, so it looks like they're kind of combating that and trying to work towards better quality control involving the windows. And then down here in the bottom right, they're changing the plastic wrap that they're going to be using on boxed models. So now instead of like I don't even know, to be honest. I I guess they're just wrapping them in cellophane now instead of whatever they were using before. I don't really know what difference this is supposed to make, but they're doing it. So there we go. Uh, Lots of new collabs. So Mini GT is going to be collaborating with Gaha Racing for the China GT, which is pretty cool. Hopefully that brings us some nice BMWs and stuff, and hopefully they're not exclusive like they have been so far. But that's a pretty cool collab. Here's the Kaido Works stuff. I didn't see a live stream or anything. I don't know exactly what they were talking about. I don't know if Kaido Works is going to be a new sub brand for them, but they did show off some pretty cool stuff that they're working on. So there's this one right here. I actually don't know exactly what this is, but it looks pretty cool. I know there's a lot of people that really like the crazy body kits and stuff for Kaido House. It's never really been my cup of tea, but I can appreciate it, especially this one. I liked this one. This is the Nissan Z. I actually do like the kit on this one. With the shape of the car and everything, it looks pretty sleek. So there's that. There's also this one right here. Again, I don't know what this one is, but it looks pretty cool. And then they also showed off this truck as well, this flatbed hauler, which there's a bunch of guys out there that do like dioramas and stuff, and this would be like perfect for a lot of people that do that kind of thing. So pretty cool there. Moving on, Mini GT did announce a pretty much like a big Mercedes-Benz collaboration, which is awesome. So they've got the 140 years right there, and I'm assuming they're going to be making all this stuff. So they're going to go from like the first Benz motor wagon and like go all the way up with like basically just like the important iconic cars. So
That'd
that's
be
really
pretty
exciting
sick.
for me. Yeah, and that Mercedes-Benz SL, oh man, I love that car so much. We got some from Tarmac Works that were Koenig specials, but we haven't gotten stock ones from anyone. So I'm excited to see. I mean, this stuff that they show in their slides is usually like years out, so I'm not expecting to see any of this stuff anytime soon. But we did see a lot of Mercedes stuff this year at HEC. So Jurassic Park. This one I'm a little bit torn on. There are some very cool and iconic cars from this IP, but it was not something I was expecting. But I'm not really mad at it either. So they showed off this Mercedes M Class. I believe this is the M Class. Yeah. So I assume they're going to be for sure at least making this, which is kind of cool. But yeah, Jurassic Park is a collaboration, an IP collaboration in the works. Then we also have this one right here. This is Tokyo Extreme Racer. which I guess is a video game. I have never heard of this before until now. Um, I don't
Might be
know
a
if
PS5
it's
exclusive.
yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too, because I've never really heard any news of it. But apparently, we're getting some sort of collaboration with that. I don't know what. Maybe some cars from the game. I don't know. Kind of cool though. And then we did hear about this, I think, last year, that or at least at some point in the past, we heard Glenn talk about this collaboration with Drifter, and so it looks like they're just kind of like restating that they are planning on doing this collab. It's on the stream as well. What's on the stream as well?
It's on Steam, the
Oh, it's
game.
on Steam. My bad. I will have to check that out. How much is it? You should pull it up.
What
Pull
game
it
is
up and
it?
tell me. It's Tokyo Extreme Racer.
Tokyo Extreme Racer. Give me a minute and Steam will launch, and I'll take a look.
That's kind of cool. I might have to play it.
Like $50. Not on sale. $40 because it's on sale right now.
50 doubloons, huh? I might have to check that out.
The sale ends on May 5th.
Okay. Yeah, I might have to check that out, especially if Mini GT is doing a collab with it. It'd be kind of interesting. I don't know if they gave more information about this though. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look into that some more. But anyways, yeah, the Drifter collaborate there as well. And then the biggest thing, like this, it feels like this is like the biggest thing that was revealed at HEC for Mini GT was they are going to be doing a Fast and Furious collaboration. This is the only photo I have here. They didn't really show off anything else. They kind of had like a montage of like the iconic clips from some of the earlier movies as they kind of showed this off. On one hand, I'm not the biggest Fast and Furious fan. It's just never really been my thing. I really do enjoy the first few movies. But after like the fifth movie, to me it just I don't know, it kind of fell off for me personally. But yeah, Fast and Furious. Hopefully they do some of the cool iconic stuff. Like hopefully they do Brian Skyline. Hopefully they do like the pink S2000, just some of the more iconic stuff like that. But there's a lot of opportunity for them with Fast and Furious. So this could turn into quite a big thing. Like I said, this is probably years down the road. I mean, they're still working on cranking out the 007 stuff, which has now been an ongoing project for a couple years, I think. So this is way down the line, but I know a ton of people are excited about it, and for good reason. Fast and Furious is a very big and successful IP, so I won't kill anybody's thunder. It's just not really my thing in particular, but I do think there's going to be a lot of cool stuff from it. And I think that's the last thing. I think now we start getting into the prototypes and all the stuff we saw at HEC. So there's this right here. This is a Lotus. No, this isn't a Lotus. This is an Aston Martin. I think this is the Valhalla. I think. No, I'm wrong. No, that is the Valhalla, right? I think so. Pretty sure that's the Valhalla. I could be wrong though, but it looks pretty cool. I think we've seen, yeah, Valhalla. Thank you, Stars. I think we've seen this prototype before. I'm not exactly sure, but it looks pretty cool. I can't wait to see it in like a finished form with like actual paint and stuff. But there's that. We also had these right here. These were Citroens. I don't remember exactly which one. You guys will have to help me out here. I'm not good at recognizing BMW M Hybrid V8. I believe that was on the last pre-order or the last diecast news that we did last month. Let me see real quick. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we covered that last month. If that pre-order came out before March 22nd, then it was last month. I don't think I missed it. Yeah, no, we covered that last month. You'll have to go back and watch that one as well. But anyways, yeah. So here's the Citroens. We've seen these before, but they look pretty good. We also did see a couple motorbikes from Mini GT. So this is a Honda. I forget the actual name of it, but it's kind of cool. We got that Ducati a while back from Mini GT, and then we all thought it was going to be like a big side thing, was they were going to do motorcycles, and then we didn't see any forever. And then I believe at Malaysia Diecast Expo last year they announced that they were going to start doing Harleys, but now we have finally seen our first Harley prototype right here. And so it just goes to show like how long things take. But yeah, so we've got a Honda and a Harley motorcycle. So that is pretty cool. I do like bikes. They are pretty cool. But yeah, so there's that. Also, here are the new Mercedes and stuff that were shown off. Lots of cool stuff. The AMG one back there. There's the SLS Black Series. Um, there's actually I forget the name of a lot of these cars. Um, but this one on the right here, there's is actually two versions of the same car. There's just one with the wing up and then one with the wing down. But yeah, lots of really cool Mercedes stuff. I'm a big Mercedes fan, even though I don't know the names of the cars. So I'm excited for it. You got the G Wagons in the back, the EQS is back here as well. So very cool. There's some close ups. SL65, thank you. That's right. So yeah, that's the SL65 Black Series. And I believe they're both the Black Series, but one has the wing up, one with the wing down. So super cool. More close ups of those two right there. Really excited for all this stuff. I think they're actually doing the that Mercedes like dealership diorama too, which is going to be pretty cool to display some of these. So there's the AMG one and the G Wagon. Really like the wheel. I believe this is the EQS. I really like the wheels that they're using on it. So they've got the gold one and the blue one right here. It's like a lace wheel and it looks super clean. Not a big fan of the electric stuff, but when they look good like that, it's hard to resist. But anyways, moving on, a couple new Bugattis. I can't remember if we've seen these before. I feel like we have, but these are both Bugatti Tourbillons. One is the regular Tourbillon, and then the other one is the special edition that they did of it. I can't remember the name. I remember seeing it, and it was hard to pronounce. But yeah, a couple different Tourbillons right there, and then the Bolides behind them. Looks like we'll be getting a white one as well, hopefully if they ever come out. So that's pretty cool. Also, these minis right here, very very cool as well. The one I don't know about the ones off to the side, but the one in the middle is actually from something. I think I saw someone post a photo about the real car, and I think the photos were like from Car Magazine or something. But really cool there. Some nice minis. Hopefully they expand on that. I really like that they're starting to kind of encompass a lot of older stuff too. We've been seeing a lot from that from Mini GT lately. So there's the minis. We also got a couple new trucks. I believe one is a Hyundai, and I don't remember what the other one is. If any of you know, you can let me know. But yeah, really like the city stuff. It's kind of neat. It's not something that gets shown a lot. Hyundai H100. There you go. Are they both the H100, or is it just one of them? I can't remember. I saw somebody made a post and they basically took all the new prototypes that we saw and they like matched them with what the real car was. I should have saved it. They both are. Okay, cool. Yeah, so those are pretty neat. Like I said, I feel like we don't see a lot of this stuff from a lot of diecast brands, at least not a lot of licensed diecast brands. So those will be pretty cool to have. There's some closer photos of them as well. They actually look really nicely detailed. I'm curious to see what the price point of them is going to be. Because I remember we got the Isuzu haulers back in the day, and I think those were made by Tiny Hong Kong. And don't, I think those came out before I started collecting, so I don't remember what the retail price was on them, but yeah, I'm thinking probably around 40 or 50 bucks USD, but we'll see. They look really cool though. I'll definitely be picking those up. And then here's more photos. That big yacht in the background cracks me up every time I see it. It's actually finished now, it looks like. The truck, the trailer, the yacht. Really cool. I can't even imagine how much that's going to be. That thing is massive, but if it's not anything too insane, I'll probably pick that up. But I really like these 20-foot containers they're doing too. Um, Going back a couple slides. So they've got Evergreen, the Hapag-Lloyd, and the Maersk, and then they've also got this pink one container right here. Really, really like those. And then they also have this box truck too, like this box transporter truck, which is awesome. It's got like the window on the side. There's actually a Honda Prelude driving into it, which I think I have another photo of here in a minute. But yeah, Honda Prelude is coming. There's the Bentley blowers. They look like they're going to be really detailed. I'm curious how Mini GT is going to end up finishing the wheels because this is the type of car, the wheels and the spokes, it's literally like wire spokes. So I'm wondering how intricate they're going to go with the design while staying in their price point. This is typically, well, not typically because I don't know of any other brand that's really done these, but I'm thinking that this would be something you would expect to see in a much higher price tier than Mini GT. So I hope they turn out good. So far these 3D printed samples look pretty well detailed though. So those are going to be awesome to see. Then there's also the is it the Tuk Tuk? It's this is the little cart from James Bond Octopussy. I watched that one
I I
recently. I think it's
I think
called,
that is called a tuk tuk,
yeah, I think that's what it is.
or
Yeah, it
it's
is.
something pretty similar to that.
Yeah. So that's really cool. I wasn't expecting them to make that, but I remember in the
That's
movie,
actually pretty cool.
yeah, in the movie, he had it like souped up and stuff, and it was like really fast, and he was like popping wheelies in it. It was really cool. So I'm excited to see that. Um, Looks like we're gonna be moving on to a Lamborghini. This is the Temerario GT3, and I feel like we've seen this before too, but maybe it was just the samples for the regular Temerario that they had. But it looks pretty good. It'll be cool to get some more. I wish they would do more Huracan GT3s before they move on. I wish they would just kind of keep their GT3 line going and expand on it, but it seems like they do so many castings and then they just move on to the next thing. So they're not really a great brand as far as like racing goes. I mean, they are because they've done a ton of stuff, but like the Porsche 911 GT3, for example, that thing has been racing for years, and I wish they would expand on it instead of just keep making AO Racing stuff. I love AO Racing. I know everybody does, but I don't know. It's just kind of a gripe with me. They don't produce enough race cars, enough like GT3 and endurance stuff. But that's just my opinion. This is the cool KUHL Toyota GR86. It's like an off-road built, like purpose-built off-road car from Cool. Looks pretty cool. It's got the extra tire on the roof and whatnot, so that'll be interesting. Also, the Toyota, the Alfred and the it was the Hellfire, right? I think I'm getting the name right. The vans in the background look pretty good as well. Uh, Toyota GR Yaris Rally 1, I believe. That one's also coming, which is funny because Tarmac Works has been working on this Rally 1 Yaris casting forever, and it looks like Mini GT might beat them to it because Tarmac Works still hasn't released one yet. I think they've been working on them for like, I feel like I've been seeing prototype samples at the Tarmac Works booth for like 2 years now. So there's that. That's going to be a cool casting. Speaking of the Temerario, there are the regular ones, purple, and then that like Verde Citria color. Really, really cool. They look nice. I know the Temerario is kind of a polarizing car. When it was announced, they got a lot of hate for the design of it. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's a pretty good looking car, but yeah, this is just one of those things where it's personal taste, but they look pretty cool here. Here's some new stuff. We got some MX-5 Miatas. So I believe that these are all Pandem. Obviously, the one on the red one on the left is, but I believe this one right here and this like mint colored one are too, and it looks really good with the headlights in the up position. So those would be pretty
I
cool.
like
And then
that
there's
mint color.
also, yeah, the mint color one's cool. I like the headlights up. That one will be pretty neat. And then this is actually the one that we just saw on pre-order right there as well. So there's that. Liberty Walk stuff. Here is the. I don't know if we've seen a prototype for this casting before. I don't remember it, but this is the Liberty Walk NSX right here. And I was talking to somebody about it yesterday, and I actually think it looks really good with that body kit. Some of you may know that I've had a little bit of Liberty Walk fatigue lately just because there's just been so much of it for so long. But I actually really am looking forward to that NSX. I think it looks really good. That body kit they used on it it accents the shape of the car nicely. So, but yeah, a pink and white S15 right here. This is the drift one that's coming as well. So lots of stuff there. Also, we got a couple more colors of the Silhouette R32. I think this is the first one. In fact, this one's on pre-order now, I believe. But they have the Athlete Colette one back there as well, so we're kind of expanding that collection. And then also this blue one right here looks pretty cool to me as well. And then I think this might be, I think this is the 180SX in front of it right here. So pretty cool there. There's some more Liberty Walk stuff over here. I think we've seen all of this before. there's the Honda Preludes. So it looks like they've got one in silver and red. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, when this car released this year, or was it last year that it released? Um, I I don't like this car. I think this was such a wasted opportunity from Honda. There's a lot to that story, but yeah, the car itself looks nice, but everything else about it is just kind of meh. Peak Time Racing, what is up? Nice Ferraris. We're gonna get to more Ferraris soon as well. In fact, I don't think we've looked at any Ferraris yet, but yeah, Honda Preludes from Mini GT,
That's
they
what
look
I'm
pretty
building.
good. Bro's building a Lego set over there. So Carrera GT finally looks finished, and it looks really good. That brown interior is incredible. I've said it before, but Mini GT really needs to focus on like doing something to like up their game a little bit, and the interior detail on that Carrera GT looks incredible. The headlights look really good too. So that's going to be super hype. Hopefully we see that on pre-order soon. And then we also have this monstrosity right here. So this appears to be a Porsche 911 GT3 RS, and half of it's green, and the other half of it is in the skeleton Rexy theme, which is interesting to me. I don't know how I feel about it. It's kind of cool. This has to be something that AO Racing did, right? This can't be just be like a random mini GT design. I'm assuming AO Racing had this car on display somewhere, because I don't know where else this idea would come from, but yeah, it's kind of weird, kind of cool. I'm sure I'm sure that'll be an interesting one once it actually comes out. I'm excited to take a look at it. But yeah, moving on, there's the G-Wagons again. I don't know why I have another photo of them, but they look really good. And then here's some more stuff, some Mustangs and a couple Corvettes. Again, I think we've already seen all this stuff before, so we can kind of just brush past, but they're looking really good. Here's some racing stuff. So finally, we got another McLaren F1 GTR, which is awesome. I really hope that they start making the long tail versions of it, because those things were insane, and we haven't gotten any from anybody. So, but I'm glad to see that they are still going to be making those. So that is cool. I've also got the this red and white Huracan Evo right there, which is awesome. Some of the Rally Subarus, the Mustang GTD right there as well, or the GT3 right there. Still no news on that. I figured those would have been out by now as well, but apparently not yet. Moving on, here's some more angles of those. Also, the Temerario GT3 as well. Yeah, pretty nice stuff. Here's the two, the Boring Concept Porsches that they announced a while back. I think this is the first time that we've seen them in the flesh, and they look pretty cool. Apparently, the Boring Concept has like blown up in popularity recently, and like there's a bunch of diecast brands that are doing the Boring Concept stuff. Mini GT, obviously, Killworks is doing it, and then I've seen a bunch of unlicensed stuff from not unlicensed by the Boring Concept. I've seen a lot of unlicensed diecast brands start collabing with the Boring Concept and making a bunch of stuff. So it's kind of interesting, but there's some nice BMWs here. The Lamborghini SC63 looks like we'll finally get another color of that. Yeah, the Fist BMW is awesome. So one of them is, I believe one of them is a GT3R and one of them is a GT3 Cup. I'd have to pull up Mini GT's post that they made about it a while ago. We did cover it in it might have been the last news video last month that we did, but they put an announcement out that they were going to be like continuing their collaboration with the Boring Concept, and I think it said what they were on the post, but now I don't remember. Let's see.
I'm missing a piece. This is great.
Which Lego set are you building?
The Ferrari.
Ah, that is good.
I'm missing one of the things that go in the engine. So
It's not good. You better find it.
I've literally looked in like the bag and everything. It's just not here.
Mini GT accepts collaboration posts with so many people. I'm gonna be scrolling for like 5 minutes. But yeah, I think both. I think one's a GT3R and one's a GT3 Cup. But I'll have to look back and confirm. But anyways, nice stuff here. Moving on, lots of good F1 stuff for all you F1 fans. I'm not really an F1 fan. I don't really know what I'm talking about when it comes to F1. But lots of cool stuff. I see Aston Martins, McLarens, I don't know what these ones on the left-hand side are. I'm sure some of you guys do, but lots of cool F1 stuff. More F1 stuff here. This is like their old F1 line. In fact, I think most of this stuff is their Senna line, which is really cool. So lots of cool stuff coming from that. I like old F1 a lot more than modern F1. Like I like anything that's like pre like 2010, I think is really cool. Like once you get into the modern era, to me it just I don't know, it's just not as cool. But that's just my personal opinion. Range Rovers. So we actually did just have one of these release. I reviewed it this past week. I think it was this one on the left right here, but and I think this one we also got, unless this is a new version of it. But lots of cool Range Rovers and Land Rovers coming. There's some Land Rovers in the back row right here, and then some Range Rovers up front. Really cool. I've really been enjoying this type of stuff lately, so glad to see more of it coming. They also had some cool dioramas on display. I don't know if any of you guys saw photos, but they had these two on display, and they're both the Lotus from James Bond. It's the scene where it's like obviously going underwater, the submarine, and then the scene where it's like driving out onto the beach. So I thought these were kind of cool. Mini DT's been doing a ton of dioramas and stuff lately, and I think they're pretty cool. But anyways, here is the Kaido House stuff. I didn't really see any new stuff from Kaido House. I think we've seen most of it before. Here's all the HEC exclusives here. So the limited edition drop and then the event models. But lots of cool stuff. I do really like this color on that R34. It is neat. But there's the Camaro again. We've been seeing this prototype for quite a while. The S13 down here. So yeah. Very cool. There's the Volkswagen. I do kind of like this one. This one's neat. Yeah, moving on to BBR for the Mini GT side. Lots of cool stuff. So we've got F1. There's the F50s. All kinds of crazy stuff. And everything on this table should now have brake details, which is the like important part of it. So really cool. And I think everything coming out from BBR going forward, as far as the Mini GT stuff, should all have brake details. So I think the next thing that's supposedly set to release is the two 12 cylinders. There's one in red and one in white. Those should have brake details now. And I think I have a photo of them here somewhere. But that 599p, or no, 499p looks incredible. I'm really excited for a lot of this stuff. The 599XX, just super, super cool. So yeah, lots of good stuff from BBR. Like I said, I think we've seen most of this stuff before. There might be a few models here that are now the actual finished samples. Yeah, the 599XX Evo is crazy. Like all the 599s. I love every single 599 to exist. And it seems like they're going to be doing pretty much all the different versions of it. So yeah, really excited about that. We also have this Alfa Romeo 33 Stradale up front as well. I think this is the first time we've seen it in a like actual die-cast prototype. I think before it was in resin, so this one's coming along too. I hope they make F12B TDF. Yeah. I feel like no, I guess we haven't seen any prototypes of that. Hopefully they do make it though. Like they made the 812 Competition, so I feel like they have to make the F12. But anyways, so there's the red 12 cylinder right there. As you can see, nice brake details, big yellow calipers. It just makes the models look so much better. It actually makes them feel worth the money now. So you can also see the white one peeking out too. So yeah, F50s.
Oh, that's actually pretty sick.
Just everything. It all looks really cool. So yeah, just lots of good photos. Lots of good photos. Feast your eyes. There's the 499p. Look at the carbon work on that. That thing's crazy. Tire printing is there.
Yeah.
I think it has brake details. I can't really see from this angle, but yeah.
I can kind of see.
Yeah, I can't really tell. But it
I can kind of see like the little bit of it, but it's not really noticeable.
Yo, I don't know. What's up, man? Haven't seen you around in quite a while. How you doing? This man used to comment on every single video that I would put out. And then he went MIA for a while. But he's been around, he's been lurking. But anyways, moving on. F80 right there. That is the F80, right? Yeah. What do you guys think of the new F80? Because we had the F80 come out, and then we also had the new Testarossa come out, and I know a lot of people are not really liking these new Ferrari designs. I'm kind of indifferent on it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're bad. So I've got my brother chilling in Discord with me, so he's just hanging out while we do this. That Bugatti prototype next to the Tourbillon is the Tourbillon a Peak Persang. That's right. That's what it was. I couldn't remember the name of it. I probably didn't pronounce it right, but yeah, you're right. I'd much prefer 499 using Le Mans instead of Modificata. I actually don't know which 499p this is. Is this Le Mans or is this IMSA? No, it doesn't run. They don't run in IMSA. What am I talking about?
Rosie yapping at the
Is this
wall.
not the Le Mans one? Did you see the RWB Stella Artois from Almost Real? I did. We're going to be covering that here soon. But anyways, we got to keep moving on because I do have work in a couple hours. Cube cars stuff. So it looks like they've got some massive cube cars now. And I don't know if those are going to be for sale, but yeah, just crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. There is a lot of cool things coming from cube cars if anyone's interested in it, though. I see down in this bottom right, there's a Mustang back there, the BMW E30, some Porsche, some Mercedes 190Es, a Volkswagen bus and truck. Pretty cool. I don't know if cube cars are popular. I was kind of asking about it earlier. I don't really get it. It's not really my thing, but apparently there's got to be a big market for it. Um, 499s I think are the customer XX program cars. Oh, so there's the 499 and then the 499p. Is that what I'm understanding? You must not be moving through the brands quickly if you're still. Oh, dude, yeah, it's taken a while. We're gonna have to start kind of clapping through this stuff. It's taken a while. It's the Modificata, unfortunately. Okay. Well, I'm sure they'll make the actual endurance car versions of it, surely. Um, Not a fan of cube cars, waste of diecast. I feel that. I feel that for sure. And it also just kind of clogs up Mini GT's like production capacity as well. But yeah, I feel you. Cartooned are popular. I don't know about cube car. Well, I mean, cube cars are pretty much the same thing as cartooned, right? Like I know we've got cartooned here in the States and it's pretty usually at like most major like in-person stores. I don't know. Lock in. I'm trying. Trends Hobby has some dope shit coming out. Dude, they do. All these brands are killing it right now. But anyways, finally, Tarmac Works. See, Mike, I'm capable of progressing. We're finally into the second brand now. But anyways, Tarmac Works. This was their March pre-order announcement. This is a Global 64 lineup. There's some pretty cool stuff here. So we've got the Porsche 928 GTS. This is actually in Ruby Star Red. But now I'm kind of questioning who actually has the more accurate Ruby Star Red. Is it Tarmac Works or Mini GT? Because they both look completely different. I'm hoping that the paints are pretty close between the two brands because I'd love to have this 928 with that Mini GT box set that's coming out. But I guess we'll just have to see. This looks more of like a neon pink to me. But anyways, another Nissan S Cargo in red. We've got a Toyota GR Corolla in blue. Mazda RX-7 Veilside, Fortune 7 in like this like dark blue metallic color. Porsche 962C Le Mans 1989. That is a Schuko, which I mean, in other words, means it's made by Spark, but that one should be pretty cool. I really like the Kenwood livery. Mini GT corrected their Ruby Star Red. It's more accurate now. Yeah, I saw that, but it still doesn't look anything like the Tarmac Works ones. Mini GT wants some of those Hot Wheels tuned promise. I guess. I don't know. Datsun Bluebird 510 wagon in yellow, and then a Saab 900 turbo convertible. There's some pretty good stuff here. I definitely do like both the Porsches. I actually kind of like that 510 wagon as well. It looks closer to the real car. I googled the pics. The Tarmac Works does, because I was actually looking at real photos of Ruby Star Red, and I didn't really think either of them looked that close. I don't know. Maybe it depends on how old the paint job is and like what lighting it's in as well, because like it's gonna look different if it's in bright sunlight and like shady environments too. So I don't know. Who is even buying the Hot Wheels tuned stuff, bro? I have no idea, bro. I really don't. All right, here's the April pre-order announcement for Tarmac Works. This is another Global 64 pre-order, and this one's a smaller one. So we've got a Porsche 911 GT3 RS 997.2. That one's going to be pretty popular, I'm sure, and I don't really think many other brands have done this one, so this one's gonna be really cool. There's a Mitsubishi Lancer GSR Evolution 2 in blue. I actually do like the paint and the OZ Racing wheels on that one. There's the Porsche 928 GTS in another blue color. And so this one has the headlights up. An interesting thing they're doing with the 928s is they're either doing it with the headlights up or headlights down. And then the chase version of the car is the opposite version. So this one's coming out with the headlights up. So the chase version is going to have the closed headlights. Same thing with this pink one right here. These ones are closed. The chase is going to have the headlights up. So kind of
That's actually
interesting.
pretty cool.
It's kind of a good way to do it, but also it's like if somebody wants the headlights, like if somebody literally just wants the headlights up on this Ruby Star, they have to pay chase pricing for it. So it's kind of, I don't know. I think it's a good way
Yeah,
to do
that
it, but it's unnecessary money for somebody that's trying to be a completionist. So I guess don't be a
yeah.
completionist. Some of my friends do, especially the Fast and Furious ones, like the cartoon stuff. Yeah, I don't
But
know. I guess I'm just not as I guess I'm too much. I like my stuff realistic, I guess. 997 is a must for me. Me too. That thing looks so cool. I think they're gonna be doing a lot more of those too. But EVA RT production model O2 S15. So a Nissan S15 Vertex right there. And then a Lexus LS400. I don't have any of those, but I've heard somebody say that the quality on them was really, really bad. But I also do really like the LS400, so I'll probably end up picking up one at some point. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, this one also came out too. Tarmac Works has not posted this on their social medias yet, but I think this is a collaboration with CLDC. And this is going to be a Hobby 64 pre-order for the LB Kaido Works Nissan R32 Skyline. And yeah, it says CLDC special. So it looks pretty
that
cool.
actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I like the theme on it and everything. Definitely going to be a lot more detailed than the Mini GT ones, but I also, I don't know, it's Liberty Walk. I'm just been tired of Liberty Walk. I do like this though. It is pretty cool. Moving on, Hobby Expo China, they had 2 event models for. Now, Tarmac Works is kind of weird sometimes. A lot of times they'll release event models and then sell them, like send them down their distribution line later if they don't sell out. But there's an Audi R8 LMS GT3 Evo 2 in the Sean Weatherspoon theme. And then we also have the Bentley Continental GT3 from Bathurst 2020. So I really want the Bentley, really love the Bentley GT3s. So I'm hoping that they send them out to their, retailers later on. But if not, I might have to bite the bullet and pay event model pricings for that one because it is really nice. But up next, they also did announce they're changing their packaging up. So now, it used to be like in the US, you could only get blister packs, and then pretty much everywhere else was boxes. They're changing it to where every region now can either get box or blister. So just a little bit more like choice for like the global audience. So pretty good change there. This is also their event schedule for the rest of the year. Figured I might as well share it since they did post it. You can take a peek at it if you want. So it looks like so we're now in April. So Hobby Expo China. So they've got Shizuoka Hobby Show and Comic Con Hong Kong, Art of Speed Malaysia, Salo Diecast, Hong Kong Toy Car Salon, Australia Diecast Expo, Singapore Diecast Expo, Indonesia Diecast Expo, Stance Garage Taiwan, and Macau Grand Prix. So that's their lineup for the rest of the year. Now we get into their prototypes that were shown off at HEC. So we've got these Rover 3500 Group A cars. These are cool. I really like that Tarmac Works is kind of diving into some of this older rally stuff. I was hoping that Mini GT was going to for a while, and they've done some. Like they've been hitting the Subarus and stuff, but these things are awesome. Um Oh wait, no, this isn't rally, is it? This was just like touring car racing, I believe. But yeah, these are super cool. European Touring Car Championship. Oh, okay. So this was 80s, I believe. Damn, these are sick. I'm looking at real photos of them right now. Yeah, so those are really cool. We've also got these Toyota Hiluxes. They kind of look like they're built into like they almost look like trophy trucks, but not quite. There's something about the mud flaps on this one on the left that doesn't look right to me. The mud flaps look like they're dragging the ground, so I don't know what the deal is with that, but they do look pretty cool. I like. No, that's got to be like trophy truck setup because it's missing this whole bed area of it,
Yeah,
and it's got the tires in the back. So I don't know. That'll be
kind of
cool.
what
We'll
it
have
looks
to,
like.
yeah, we'll have to see finished samples of them at some point. But they look pretty cool. Here's some stuff. So Mercedes CLK GTR. We have seen this prototype before. It looks like they haven't made any progress on it, but I don't think this one's gonna have opening parts. But it should be pretty cool regardless. We got a Rocket Bunny, Nissan Silvia S14, Vertex Toyota Cresta JZX100, and then a Rocket Bunny Nissan S13 180SX. So pretty cool. I do like this 180SX. I think it looks pretty cool. Well, I guess, wait, is it an S13 or a 180SX? Are they using like the body style from a 180SX? I don't know enough about JDM stuff. I really don't. I wish Ethan was here. Ethan's another buddy of mine, and he's a JDM nut. He could tell me all about that. But anyways, moving on, some more Panda Miatas. Seems like everybody's doing them, and then also the RWBs. Tarmac Works is kind of like revamping their RWB line, making them more detailed. I think they're doing opening parts on some of them too. So those are pretty cool. And then I think we've seen all this stuff before, but here's some more of their Liberty Walk stuff. So you've got the R32 Skyline right there, the Mira, which unfortunately for anybody wondering does not look like it's going to be licensed by Lamborghini. So I don't know, that's a big shame on to Liberty Walk or to Tarmac Works. What's up, man? How's it going? We're just going over the news. But yeah, I don't think that one's going to be licensed by Lamborghini, unfortunately, but it'll be good for anybody that wants it to get it. And then just more of the silhouette stuff down here. So pretty cool. Aston Martin Vantage GT3, I believe we've seen all this stuff before too. I just kind of want to go over it real quick. But we got the Vantage GT3, that's going to be awesome. The Mustang GT3 as well. That SLS AMG GT3 looks awesome. And then I thought this Porsche in the background back here was cool as well. I don't know what that's from, but I feel like this is my first time seeing it. So
That Porsche looks pretty sick.
and now that Chris is here, he'll help me remember what all these cars are. He's good at that. Anyways, there's the 997.2s that we saw in pre-order, this gray one right here. They've shown these off a few times before, where it looks like we finally got one on pre-order now, which is good. Those Nissan Skyline 2000 GTRs look awesome. I actually might pick up a couple of those. And then I was talking about it earlier, but this is the GR Yaris Rally 2, so they've started working on the Rally 2s before they release the Rally 1. So they need to get with the program with those. Some Koenigsegg down here. I'm personally waiting for LCD and Motor Helix as far as Koenigsegg goes, but these are nice for what they are. When they actually do the carbon fiber, they're pretty nice. So there's those.
Those are pretty sick. I
All
want
right.
them.
Yeah, yeah, I know you do.
If only
You're a
I had
big
money.
you're a big Koenigsegg fan, I know. All right, Motor Helix. So this is a regular pre-order. In the last news video, we covered the pre-order that they had where they were doing 1/64 scale resin for the Nilus, but now they're doing them in diecast, which is awesome. So I guess there's going to be three colors. There's going to be the Suzuka white, the Black Water Park black, and then the Gillies red. So three of them. I'm expecting these to be about $60 because these are like full opening with the doors and everything. So a little bit on the pricey side, but the Nilu's a crazy car, and I'm glad that Motor Helix is doing it. So there's that. Silver order, I believe, and it looks like it comes with a little like 1/64 scale engine on like a crate. So that is kind of cool as well. They released a silver one for one of the recent events, and now they're doing the same thing just in black for their global release. So there's that, pretty cool. They also dropped some pre-orders for a bunch of Mitsubishis. So these are the Lancer Evolution 5 GSRs. So there's a few colors there, yellow, white, and black. Then we've also got the Lancer Evolution 6 GSR in white, blue, and pearl, or black pearl. And then the Lancer Evolution 6 GSR TME. What does the TME stand for? Somebody let me know. But that one's going to be in red, white, and blue pearl. I'm assuming it's just the arrow that they're using for it. That's what it looks like. But anyways, they're selling this Liberty Walk diorama of the Nagoya headquarters store. Pretty cool. It is a diorama. It's not diecast, but I thought it was interesting. And then we have Tomy Making Edition. So is that just like the arrow that's on it? It's kind of interesting. Nissan Fairlady Z. This is just a regular pre-order, but I think they did release this one at HEC as well. I've got a photo of it here in a minute, but they're just doing a regular release for it too. So there's that. Yeah, there's the exclusive version of it. I think maybe just exclusive packaging. I don't really know what was different about it from the regular version of it, but oh, okay, that's cool. So that's kind of like an homage spec of it to him, I'm assuming. Now I think we get into the event stuff for Motor Helix. So GT Show, Subaru Impreza Wagon STI version 6. This one's like a chrome gray color, like a dark chrome. Then they also did this one in chrome, Nissan Skyline GTR 34. So that one was also for the GT Show. And then they did this one as well, Honda Civic Type R in HKS. And then I think that was the last GT Show one. So they announced this one, Honda Civic Type R, and this one's in like a midnight purple. This one is an exclusive for Shop for Fun, which I believe is a distributor or store, I think in the Philippines. I might be wrong on that. I forget where Shop for Fun's from. I've heard their name before, but yeah, this is kind of just a regional exclusive as far as I know. And then HEC, we've got the Honda Civic Type R. This one's going to be in green metallic, limited to 599. Then we have this right here. I thought this was kind of interesting. So Honda Civic Type R with a 118 scale engine, and it comes on this like display board. And this was HEC, and so was the next one. But I thought this was kind of a cool idea for like a special product. And then also for the Honda S2000. Same thing. It's got the car and then the 118 scale engine. So that is pretty cool. I like the way that Motor Helix like mixes things up and does like unique products. That's my favorite thing about them. Up next, another HEC Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 4 GSR. This one comes with this diorama, which is pretty cool. I think this one's been released before at a past event. But this one, I think the thing for this one is that it comes with the diorama. So there's that. And then also Greenlight Premium. This is going to be one of the like Motor Helix collaboration models, I believe. But this was Greenlight's event exclusive for HEC, limited to 699 pieces. It's the Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 2007 in vintage bronze. I actually thought it looked pretty cool. It's like a brushed bronze. But yeah. Still no like regular pre-orders for like Greenlight Premium stuff. And Chris, if you're still here, did they change their branding from Greenlight Premium to Greenlight Premier? Is Greenlight Premier like the Greenlight Premium thing now? Because I haven't seen anything about Greenlight Premium in a while, but I keep seeing Greenlight Premier come up. You'll have to let me know. I really don't know what's going on with Greenlight. I like their premium stuff that they're doing with Motor Helix, but I haven't seen anything except for event stuff, it feels like. But anyways, here is this as well. I haven't heard anything. Okay, I'll have to look into it some more. But there's the Mazda 787B, and again, it comes with the 118 scale engine on like the display plaque. And this one's for the Shizuoka Hobby Show 2026, which I believe is much later in the year. Oh no, that's next month. So that'll be the event model for that, I'm assuming. So pretty cool. And here is the Motor Helix stuff that they actually showed off. So here's all the Alfa Romeos. They look really cool. I like this green one with this livery on it. It looks awesome. So lots of colors of those. We have seen a lot of this stuff before. That's typically just how it goes. But lots of cool stuff. There's all the 787Bs. Looks like they've got like a bronze chrome one right here. That's the test car version. So very cool. There's one of the Paganis. I think that's the is that the Wyra R Evo? I think. But that one's got the full opening parts, so the doors and the hatches and everything. And then the Nilus, of course, right here as well, all looking pretty good. Here's some more stuff. Some Mitsubishi, lots of Nissans, just all sorts of different things. Zonda. Okay, that's the Zonda R Evo. Okay, sweet. I actually picked up the almost real uh Zonda R that they did. I actually picked that. That's on its way to me, so very excited to look at it. But yeah, looks pretty good. The detail on those is insane. But anyways, just lots of stuff, lots of Nissans, like ton of R34s right there. Just tons and tons. I see some R35s, a bunch of Honda stuff in the background. Very, very cool. Looks like we've got a bunch of Mitsubishis here. There's some of the Koenigsegg's, camel like this portion. But yeah, I don't know. So these aren't completed samples or anything yet. I mentioned it earlier, but the opening doors just, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I wish they could just make the doors static with the opening front and rear. I feel like that's the perfect way to do it. I know they're for the Koenigsegg stuff, they're trying to show off the cool um design that they have for the door mechanism. Koenigsegg has an actual name for it, but I forget. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the doors. The opening doors, it feels like it just creates unnecessary panel gaps, but we'll see. See an Alpha 8C in the back there? Yeah, there's a bunch of them. These are the 8Cs. Is it? These are the 8Cs, right? Because I know there's a 4C as well. The 4C is the newer version of it, right? Yeah, no, these are the 8Cs. Yeah, these look really
Bro,
cool.
don't
I'm
know.
excited for these. But anyways, keep moving on. So here's some more stuff. Just a big like drop of everything. So here's some of the Honda Acties. There's that green light event model right there as well. 4C is the smaller mid-engine. Oh, okay. Yeah, the 8Cs are awesome. I cannot wait for those. I think there's a couple colors on pre-order right now. I think there's a red one and I don't remember what the other color was, but yeah, those are going to be cool. More Paganis right here, some RWBs. I think these photos were from like as they were setting up at the event, but they look awesome. Hey, what's up? There's the Ford GT40 right there. Looks really, really cool. I can't wait for that as well. And then also the Koenigsegg Jesko. Super, super cool. That one
Ooh,
looks pretty much
ooh,
complete. Um, I
that's clean.
Yeah, it looks cool. I just hope that they executed all the opening parts well. That's my only thing. Those are also going to be really
Yeah.
expensive, but what's been covered so
Yeah,
far?
I
So
might
we've
need to save up
done
money for that.
yeah, you might need to. So we've done Mini GT and Tarmac Works, so now we're working through Motor Helix. It's going very slow. I'm gonna have to speed things up because I've only got like another hour before I got to start getting ready for work. So, but yeah, there's been lots of cool stuff. I'll post the live stream as a video after this, and then I'm also gonna upload just the regular like news video as well, so you won't miss anything. But also, do you know where the BBR AR box LaFerrari will be available? I don't. Most of the AR box stuff is most of their distribution seems limited to Asia and China specifically. I'm hoping that RC Mart carries some of that AR box stuff. Other than that, eBay and AliExpress are probably going to be your best friends when they come out. I don't really know other than that. I don't know. AR box is kind of weird. Their distribution isn't super large yet. But anyways, moving on. Here's another shot of all that stuff there. I see some cool NSXs in the background and those 8Cs. Very, very cool. Motor Helix makes incredible models. There's some Audis in the back as well. More stuff. There's a big, big overhead shot. Yeah, the full live will be posted. I'll post the whole thing. So there's that. We'll finish up here. I think this is almost all the Motor Helix stuff, and then we'll be moving on. And then they also had this like mystery zone where they were showing off so like some new prototypes. So there's I don't know why this photo is so blurry. I really don't have a better photo of that. But anyways, they had a bunch of new like prototype samples that they were showing here. So there's some cool stuff. Yeah, I don't know why that picture is so blurry, but anyways, moving on. Let's move on to AR Box. I think AR Box is one of the most hyped things that's been going on right now. So now I got to pull up my notes because now we're getting into stuff where I need to see what I saved.
Who
So
needs to read?
this one is the Mercedes AMG S63, as it says there in Verde Silver. This one was exclusive to the GT show. They didn't say how many units it was exclusive to, but that was a GT show exclusive that happened last month. Then also this one right here, I really want this thing. So this is the BMW Isetta fire engine set, and this one was also a GT show exclusive.
That's
I'm
actually pretty
hoping,
sick.
I know, I'm hoping they release it later. I thought it was awesome though. So there's those. For HEC, they released the Pagani Zonda R in white. This is again like the full opening version of it. Really, really cool. They released it at HEC, and then they also released another batch of the black carbon fiber ones at HEC alongside of it. Like they just had some more for sale there. So very cool. This guy right here, this is the Honky U7. The color is blue, moon, and white. And this one, I believe, is just a regular pre-order for anybody interested in that one. Then up next, the Yangwang U9. I think this is awesome. This is just a regular pre-order as far as I know, but they did do a first launch of it at HEC, so I think they did sell some of them there. Looks really good. Looks really, really good. Really nice carbon fiber. There's brake details. Looks pretty good. And then also these two as well, the Yangwang U8 were also sold at HEC as like a first launch, and they will be available as regular releases later. So just real quick, AR Box has opened up a couple flagship stores in China recently, and so I think that's where their focus is mainly right now. They're doing events, but they're also really focusing on those flagship stores. So their distribution seems like it's slowed down a little bit, and it seems to me like they're selling most of their stuff in store right now, but I think they are supposed to be sending a lot of this stuff out to their actual like distribution channel as well. So now we get into like their 10th anniversary celebration, which I didn't realize they'd been around that long. I think their 164 scale line is kind of newer. But yeah, this was like the first three models of that. As far as I know, these were all actually Hobby Expo China exclusives, HEC. So there's the BMW 600 in red. That one's limited to 3,000 pieces. The Isetta Bubble Window in red, so 3,000 as well. So both the red ones limited to 3,000 pieces. This yellow one down at the bottom doesn't say that it was exclusive to anything. So I think this one was a first launch as well, and then will be available later. So there's the pictures of the number 20 right there. There's the number 21. This is the one that I think is going to be sent out later on during their distribution. And then the number 22. So there's those. And then number 7 on the countdown was this AMG G63, the old G-Wagon. This one says that it was exclusive to Hobby Expo China. And I think that is the only like strictly HEC exclusive. So we have this one as well. This looks awesome. I really like the Camel Trophy stuff that AR Box is doing. But yeah, this one supposedly was limited to 1,000 units at HEC, but should be released later as a normal release. So there's that one. Here finally are the RWB Stella Artois. So this one had a chase version for HEC, I believe. And this one, as far as I know, once again, should be sent out later as just like normal distribution. Because I've already seen some sellers here in the States get pre-orders of a lot of this almost real stuff. So this stuff should be available. I don't really understand like the way they're running their exclusives, but it seems like most of the stuff they're doing is like either special packaging or just a first launch at the event, and then they're releasing stuff later. So like the chase is probably exclusive to HEC, but I think everything else is just gonna fall into like a normal distribution stream. So there's the RWB. Looks really good. It's got opening parts, like the front hatch and the rear hatch do open on this one, I believe. So very cool. Camel Trophy Land Rover 110. This was like the support truck. Again, very cool. This one says first release at Beijing flagship store on April 16th, and it will be sold at HEC on the 17th. And then on the 18th, it'll be released at the Dongwon AR Box store. And then on the 20th, they'll be available for online platforms. So this was kind of those like selling at the flagship stores, first launch at HEC, and then online later. And I think the same goes for most of this stuff. But Pagani Zonda F, so many different Paganis. But this is, again, a full opening one. Really, really nicely detailed. This one, again, first release at the flagship stores. This one was not sold at HEC, but it'll be online through regular distribution later. Next up, the Porsche number 2 on their countdown. Porsche 911 Carrera 992.1 in silver. Again, first launch at flagship stores, online distribution later on. And then last but not least, this was like their main celebration model, the Mercedes Maybach S680, their 10th anniversary. I think they sold this at HEC. Let me see here. So there's two versions of it. There's a gift box version and a regular edition. Both versions have a chance to get a chase. And the gift box version is available at their flagship stores, and then the regular edition was sold at HEC. So I think this one might be exclusive to the event and the flagship stores as well. But yeah, so that's all that stuff. And as you guys know, I'm sure some of you guys have been waiting, the Ferrari stuff is like the big buzz that's going on right now. So ARBox is collaborating with BBR, and they're going to be making some really, really nice Ferrari stuff. At least I hope it ends up being nice. But yeah, so their first release for this Ferrari line was the F80, and this one was released at HEC, and then it says it's also going to be released at both AR stores. So the wording for that makes it kind of sound like it's not going to have online distribution, but I find that really hard to believe. So yeah, I don't really know what the deal is with it, but I know that a lot of people are super excited for this one. It looks really good. I just have one minor complaint about it, which is the panel gaps for the doors are a little rough looking. And granted, I don't have it in person. Obviously, it's hard to tell until you see it in person, but yeah, the panel gaps are just a little rough in my eyes. So everything else looks really good though, really nicely detailed. They did have a chase version of this, and the chase version of it had the carbon fiber on the actual base, like the plinth. So I think this is like the chase version here. Yeah, there's the BBR ARBox F80. And then they showed off a bunch of stuff as well. A lot of this BMW stuff we have already seen before. They did like a big reveal at one of these past shows, but it's still really cool to see it all. So there's all their M stuff here. We've also got some more stuff here. Looks like we've got 750 ILs and M3s. And then there's a bunch of prototypes, like just a bunch of prototypes. There's the M1, the Z1, just all kinds of crazy stuff. Z3, I see a 2002 over there. There's a BMW M3. That's the E36 lightweight, like really, really cool niche stuff. So we get different castings on the same model from BBR and BBR ARBox collabs, such as F80. So you're meeting like the Mini GT line versus the ARBox line. We'll get the same stuff from them. I think so, because like if you look at the Mini GT lineup, and it's gonna get. I have a feeling this like double collaboration that BBR is doing is gonna get kind of confusing. But like for example, Mini GT BBR line, like we have already seen the F80 and the F40 and the F50. But we'll get to it in a second. But looks like the ARBox branch is also going to be doing a lot of that stuff as well. So it's going to be confusing, but they are definitely going to be doubling up if that's what you were asking. Like both sub brands are going to be making the same cars at some point, I'm sure. But anyways, moving on, there's the Isetta table. It feels like we see this Isetta lineup at like every event, and it cracks me up. They're so cool. Somebody at ARBox really, really, really likes the Isetta, and I'm not really mad at it. But yeah, there's all the Isettas, and there's a few more there as well. I was looking at these. I was trying to see close-ups of these photos, and these 5 right here almost look fuzzy. Like it looks like whatever they painted them with is like textured to be like fuzzy. I don't know. We'll have to see if that's actually anything or if I'm just not seeing things correctly, but I thought it was kind of interesting.
That kind of looks like that to me.
Yeah, I was looking at the
At least
pink
from this
one and
picture.
like around like the windows and stuff, it looks like it's like fuzzy. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's either the way they painted it or the paint is just a bad paint.
Yeah, it could be something. But yeah, there's that. More I said is here as well. There's a little fire engine set and also the exclusives here as well. Very, very cool. And then just some neat stuff. I think, like I said, I think we've already seen this before, but there's the like S-Class, like limo. Really, really neat. There's some G-Wagons. Lots of Porsche coming from AR Box. So really, really cool stuff. So Porsche 911 991.1 from 2016. There's a 1967 911R. There's a 991.2 2017. Just really, really cool stuff. And it looks like they're going to be hitting like every year and every spec of the 911 from what I've seen. There's also a Cayenne right there as well. Just really, really cool. They've got some more GT3R liveries in the works. These two look really nice here. This black and white one, and then this blue and white one. This one's Absolute Racing. I'm assuming this one probably is too. But yeah, really, really cool Porsche stuff. There's some more 911s over here, a couple different Carreras. So yeah, really looking forward to this stuff from them. Really, really nice. I'm excited. So yeah, and there's also a 911 Speedster down there. It looks like that's the GT3 Cup on the bottom left. So like I said, they're like pretty much hitting everything as far as Porsche is concerned, it looks like. So here's some more Mercedes stuff. There's also the Yang Wangs. There's the U9 down there. It looks like it's in a pretty cool livery. So very cool. There's the Mazda Cosmo Sport. I think this is the first time that we've seen a finished sample of it, but it looks really good. Then there's also a Toyota Corolla A86 as well. And then, of course, the Pagani Huayra BC with the opening parts down there on the bottom. So looks like they're hitting all the Paganis with the opening parts too, which I'm definitely not mad about. I feel like these like super high-end supercars and whatnot deserve to have some crazy detailed models. But yep, here's some more Range Rovers and Land Rover stuff. Really, really cool. They look very nicely detailed, especially these two down on the bottom right here. So that's actually a Land Rover Discovery. That's neat. Like it a lot. More Porsche. I know it's kind of mixed up, but yeah, more Porsche. Looks like we've got some Taycans. Those are Taycans, right? I believe so. No, those aren't Taycans. What is that? Porsche T. Yeah, that translation isn't doing anything for me. But anyways, more colors of the GT3R on the right side here. Look really cool. Yeah, Airbox is killing it. They're doing a lot of really cool stuff. So here's some of the Ferraris, Panameras. You're right. Those are the Panameras. That's cool. Yeah, they're hitting like everything. They're seriously hitting like everything for Porsche. It's crazy. And I feel like AR Box hasn't released any regular models in like months too. So I don't know what they're going to do or what their plans are. But here's some of the Ferrari stuff. So we've got the Ferrari F50 on the top. Again, opening parts. It looks like for pretty much all of these, the doors are going to open as well as the front and rear hatches. So the Ferrari F50, then we've got the Ferrari F40, the Ferrari LaFerrari, and then the Ferrari F50 as well. Wait, did I get two pictures of the F50? Looks like I did.
Yes.
So yeah, two pictures of the F50 for you. But yeah, I mean, these are just the 3D printed samples. So like, it's not like you can't really judge them too harshly yet. But I don't know. I'm just really worried. I hope they execute these well because these are going to be huge. So yeah, I'm excited to get my hands on them though. They're going to be interesting. There's the Ferrari SF90 Spider. Again, full opening parts, and they've got some larger scale stuff too. But there's that one. There's an F1 car here as well. I'm not exactly sure which one it is. So it looks like they're going to be hitting F1, which I know a lot of people will like. So yeah, lots of interesting stuff from AR. They're going to be it's going to be interesting to see how these Ferraris end up. So far, the F80 looks pretty good, but I don't want to make any like concrete decisions about like what my thoughts are until I actually have one in hand to look at is kind of like my main thing. So, but anyways, Trends Hobby is next. We've got a pretty big wave of pre-orders from them. So Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo 2, that's in the Ultraman livery, which actually just raced not too long ago, and I think it did pretty well. I think it placed P1 in class, and then P2 overall, which is pretty cool. More opening parts means you open your wallet more too. Yeah, the opening that's the thing. Like I think that F80 was like $80 at the event, like retail price. So it's like I don't know. I was Chris, I was talking to Kenny earlier, and I was like, I would prefer them to just like leave the doors alone and like save us $20 on the model, right? Just do static doors, knock some money off the price, and then you've still got like crazy opening parts and detail, and yeah, less quality control issues too, less panel gaps. So, it's the SF25 from the 2025 season. That's cool. So like current stuff. But anyways, Porsche 911 GT3R, that's the Iron Dames one from 2025 Le Mans. I know Spark was doing this one in 164 as well. I'm kind of glad I haven't bought it yet because I think I'm just going to want the Trends Hobby instead. So there's that. Couple more Porsches here. These are both from 2025 Le Mans as well. There's somebody told me that it's pronounced Monty Racing. I thought it was Manthe for the longest time, but somebody told me it's Monty. So there's that. Chip Heart Racing as well. These look awesome. And then they also are doing these two Porsche 918 Spyders. One is in acid green and then one's in black. These also do have opening parts. The rear hatches do come off. And yeah, the prices for these Trends Hobby cars are really, really nice. So there's really no reason not to pick them up. They're cheap and they're really, really detailed as well. So there's that. The next pre-order consisted of two Lamborghini Temerarios. One is in this like this was like the oh, I just lost my train of thought. This blue color is from like when they first showed off the Temerario, like Lamborghini. It's like the presentation color. That's the word I was looking for. And then we also have this one in green right here with the red accents. Both look really good. As you can see, they've got opening rear hatches and then the front hatch opens as well. So really cool, very nicely detailed. And then some more Porsches. These are also from Le Mans. These are both 2024. So very cool there. And then two Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo 2s. And both of these are from 2025 DTM. So they're getting us a lot of really, really nice endurance racing stuff. So like DTM, Le Mans. Very, very cool. Very excited for all this stuff. I need to pre-order all of these too. I haven't done it yet and I need to. But anyways, up next, these were their two event models for HEC. So Lamborghini Temerario, both are limited to 2,999 pieces, and it's a collaboration with John Michael Basqua, I think is how you pronounce the last name. I don't know anything about it. Kind of cool, not really something I'm into, but the Temerario casting does look really nice. So those are there's those, and I believe both of these were also like actual chrome colors too. So this one was gold, and then this one was like a dark brown chrome. So there's those. They also had these for sale at HEC. So the Ice Race Aspen 2024 with the Porsche 911 GT1 1998. Super, super cool. This is the type of event model stuff I like to see, where you're taking something that you've released already, but making it different and making it feel exclusive instead of just releasing a one and done car that nobody else is going to be able to get. This is the kind of stuff I like. Same with this DTM set over here as well. It's the Porsche 911 GT3R set. And yeah, really, really cool. I like the dioramas. It's really neat. And then also, I have photos of it right here. Like for this Porsche GT1, they actually like did like a snow paint on it, so it looks all snowy, which I think is super unique. I think it's cool. I think this is the way people should do event stuff. It makes the most sense. But anyways, there's also the Porsche set right there as well, Monty Racing. And then there are the two Lamborghini Temerarios that were the event models as well. So there's all the event stuff from Trends Hobby. Now we can look into the actual samples. So there's the two Temerarios that just went on pre-order, as well as the two 918s that are on pre-order. Very, very nice. And then here's just some stuff. There's the Ultraman Lambo up there. This orange 911 GT3R. And then these two Lambos right here are the ones that we just got on pre-order also. And it looks like there's a lot of like chrome on them, which it looks pretty cool. I'm a big fan of those liveries, so excited for those. Here's some more stuff. Lamborghini Urus Performante, which I believe Mini GT has done, so it'll be interesting to compare. Audi RS6 Avant, can never have enough of those. And then the Audi R8 LMS Evo 2. So more R8s, which is nice. Bugatti Tourbillon, they're going to be doing it as well. Nissan GTR R34 Z-Tune, Nissan GTR R35 Nismo, and a Nissan GTR R32. I'm assuming that's also the Nismo version. So very, very cool stuff from Trends Hobby. I'm looking forward to a lot of their stuff. There's a couple more Porsches. This is the Bathurst one right here. Hopefully they do a regular release of it for the public because I really wanted that one. So yeah, here's some more samples. It looks like yeah, so here's the Nissan samples we just looked at and the Urus Performante, but they also had a sample of this Lamborghini Mira, which excites me quite a bit. I really like old Lamborghini stuff. So there's that. They also had the sample of the Lamborghini Countach, and then they had this Porsche, I believe that's the 962, and then the Porsche 917K. So it looks like they're going to tap into a lot more like vintage racing stuff as well, which is awesome. So there's that. I think that's, yeah, that was all we had for Trends Hobby. So we'll look at Kiloworks now. Kiloworks has been doing a lot of stuff too. So they are also collaborating with The Boring Concept. And this R8 went on pre-order. And I think they also showed it, sold it at the GT show as well. Or maybe, yeah, that was the GT show. I don't know if they sold it there or not, but I know they had like a chrome gold chase version of it, but this is just a regular pre-order now. So it's the Boring Concept R8 LMS GT3 Evo from 2025 China GT Championship. And I believe it was the overall winner for, well, I mean, it says it was the overall winner. I haven't really followed China GT too closely, but yeah, that one's pretty cool. This is also just a regular pre-order. They're bringing us a couple Mercedes AMG ones. One is in Patagonia red, and the other one is gray with stars. So very cool. They look really nicely detailed, so I'll be looking forward to those. And then these were their event models for HEC. I really hope they release these Lotus Emira GT4s again, or at least just keep doing different versions of them because I think those are so cool. But yeah, so the two Lotus Emira GT4s were both limited to 500 pieces. The Audi R8 LMS was limited to 1,200, and then this Chrome Mercedes AMG GT was limited to 1,500. So that was that. They also had like a little lottery system going on. Basically, you buy event models and you have a chance to win like a bunch of different like merch and stuff. And these three, like I think these are all raw, but all these were like on the table as prizes as well. So you could get lucky and end up walking away with one of those. So kind of
That would be
interesting.
cool.
Yeah, and then they're also collaborating with Darwin Pro, which there's a lot. It's just like the Boring Concept, like I was talking about earlier. There's a lot of unlicensed, untrustworthy brands collaborating with just like either body kit companies or race teams or whatever to make themselves seem more legit. I'm not saying Kiloworks isn't legit. I do think they are very trustworthy, but I've seen a lot of random brands collaborating with Darwin Pro, so I don't know if that says anything, but they are going to be doing this one right here. It's collaboration with Apex Predator Racing. It's a really cool design. It's like one of those fighter jet designs, so I do think it is really cool. But there is that. They showed it off at the event, so this is like the renders of the model, so pretty cool. They also showed this off at the event. This is one of the cars that was racing in, I believe China GT is what this is, but it looks really cool. This reminds me of like the old school like Monster Energy stuff that used to be really popular back in like the mid 2010s. So I really like this Kiloworks livery on this AMG. So there's that. And then most of what they showed at HEC was Mercedes stuff, but there's a lot of it's really cool. So here's all the AMG GT3s here, lots of cool liveries on them. I only have one Kiloworks so far, and it was this middle one right here, and I wasn't super happy with it, but I think I just ended up getting really unlucky with the model I got. So I'll definitely keep getting stuff from them. And hopefully they impress me more than they have so far. But yeah, there's a couple more of those AMGs, and then just all kinds of really cool Mercedes stuff. So there's some of the SUVs back there. There's the Lotuses and some other Audi stuff. They've done a lot of these Audis, which are pretty cool. I'll have to get my hands on some of them. But there's a bunch of R8s. Overall, pretty nice stuff. There's the Boring Concept Audi as well. couple more R8s right here. And then I believe this was actually I don't know if no these yeah this is the event model right here, and they have this black one next to it. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. More Audis, lots of Mercedes. That's pretty much like the main thing they had, but a lot of it's really cool. There's those AMG ones that were on pre-order. So yeah, looks like Killerworks is doing lots of cool stuff, and they're also doing these student driver Datsun 510 wagons, which are pretty cool as well. So looks like they're getting that collaboration lined up too. More AMG stuff, just lots of it, lots of cool stuff. And then there's why are these pictures so blurry? I swear these pictures were not that blurry when I uploaded them. But anyways, here's more of the Lotuses up front, and then just a bunch of other stuff as well. And Chris, if you're still here, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this stuff right here is some of the Kilo Wheels products that we, which is as far as I know, they're kind of like a sister company to Kilo Works, and they're doing a thing here. They're doing like a sub brand here in the U.S. So I think that's some of their stuff right here. There's some Mustangs, and then I can't remember what the other ones were, but I know this one back here is a Bronco. So that's pretty cool as well. And I see some Porsches back here too. So I didn't see any close-ups of these, but it looks like Kiloworks is also going to be doing Porsche, which is good news. Anyways, moving on. For LCD models, this is a regular pre-order. This is the Pagani Utopia Roadster in carbon red, so it's a full carbon like candy apple red. It looks really cool. And then these are also regular pre-orders. So this is the Land Rover. Which one is it? It's just the Range Rover. Why does it say Land Rover? Anyways, Range Rover. There's one in Velocity Blue, black with gold roof, and Ionian Silver. So these are just regular pre-orders, made in the same factory but different companies. So why? I think I've asked before. Why did they both have Kilo in their name? Was that just part of like the contract with them? Because they are showing off the Kilo Wheels stuff at their booth at HEC, so it makes me think that they're a little bit more than just like same factory type of thing. I don't know. It's confused me ever since they started doing it. But anyways, LCD models also did have some event models. So these are both for Hobby Expo China. There's the Lamborghini Murcielago and Giallo Orion, limited to 1699 units. And then also the Lamborghini Huracan STO in black and gold. This is a collaboration with TechWrap, which again is another brand that I've seen a ton of companies collaborating with recently. This one's also limited to 1699 units. And then these two as well. So we've got a Honda NSX NA1. And this is, again, is another TechWrap collaboration. This one's limited to 699 units. And then the Pagani Huayra Roadster in Glacier Blue. This one is limited to 999 units. All four of these were for HEC. This one was also sold at HEC. This was supposed to be an event model for one of the past shows. I think it was the GT show, or maybe it was the one that was right before that, but they actually canceled it because they didn't get the packaging right. They had a Pagani logo on the packaging instead of Koenigsegg. And so they canceled it and didn't sell them at the event, but they sold them at HEC just as like regular models, not event models. So this Koenigsegg CC850 should be released later on as just a regular global release, which is cool. And then they also had this Pagani that was also just supposed to be sold at HEC as a regular release, and they canceled it, as you can see, because they were not happy with the quality control of the models, which that's huge respect that they can just step up and be like, hey, we're not going to sell these at the event, the quality is not good, we're going to take a step back and redo them. I like this kind of stuff. Oh, looks like Chris has a friend here. Yeah, Chris needs to be making more videos over there. What are you doing, Chris? But anyways, LCD Models has also revealed that they are now making Porsche stuff, which makes sense because as far as I know, LCD Models, Motor Helix, and AR Box are all made in the same factory, I believe. So they're all kind of like sharing licenses and whatnot, which is totally fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that as long as it's all legit. But yeah, Porsche from LCD Models, which I think is going to be really cool. And speaking of which, one of the first, they showed off two 160. Well, actually, no, that's 143 scale, isn't it? Oh, I can't even tell. No, that's not. That's got to be 164. No, that might be 143 because that's a small car. But anyways, there's the Porsche 550 right there. So that one's going to be really cool to see. I'm imagining they'll do it in 164 scale, but they also had some large scale stuff. And then they had this Carrera GT sample, which is in fact 164 scale. So that one's going to be really cool. Waiting for the Zonda Revolution, the AR box one. Is that the? Yeah, I think that's the only one that's done the Zonda R so far is AR box. That's cool though. But anyways, here's some Koenigseggs. I think I meant to add more photos to that slide, but I guess I didn't have any more Koenigseggs. But yeah, really nice. So the Agera RS, I believe those are both the Agera RS. But yeah, blue and then yellow.
Yeah,
They
just
both look
those,
really
yeah.
nice. Love the carbon fiber bases on them. It just looks super, super
That blue
cool.
one would be nice.
Yeah, the blue one's really cool because it has that matching blue interior as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, they're also going to be doing some more Toyota stuff. So there's the GR Yaris's right there, and it looks like they're also doing some of the Rally GR Yaris's as well. I don't know if that is the GR Yaris, right? Yeah, yeah, that's a Rally version of it. I don't know if that's Rally One or Rally Two, but yeah, pretty cool. It looks like LCD Models is going to get a little bit more into doing like some more race car oriented stuff, which I am all here for. Up next, Spark. So they did announce that they are going to be doing all of these GT500 cars from the 2025 series of Super GT, which is awesome. Um, I don't know how long it'll be before these come out. It seems like Spark pre-orders take a really long time, but we should get actual pre-order information soon, and we will cover it here. I just thought that was really neat. Up next, lots of pre-orders from Spark, a lot of F1 stuff from the 2026 season. This one's from 2023. So for all you F1 fans, there's going to be a lot for you to eat with Spark here coming up. So these are all 2026. It looks like they're pretty much hitting all the cars from all manufacturers. So they've got the Alpines, the Aston Martins, the Cadillacs, um, pretty much everything. The Audis, McLarens. So lots of cool stuff coming from Spark. They've announced these. This isn't necessarily a pre-order announcement. This is just kind of them saying like, "Hey, we're making this," you know. So this is kind of like their pre-order announcement. So here's these ones right here: Oracle, Red Bull, Visa, all pretty much everything. I don't think they missed anything on this. So and then these two as well, the Mercedes. So yeah, lots of cool F1 stuff. They also did announce pre-orders for these two right here, which is really, really cool. This is the Toyota GR10 Hybrid Gazoo Racing from 2025 Le Mans. So they've got both of them, the number 8 and the number 7. So those are going to be really cool. Hopefully they do a good job with them. But yeah, very cool. And then also these three right here. These pre-orders to me look like Sparky pre-orders before they kind of redid their brand. Um, because they don't have any tire printing, which is what kind of like the main thing that Spark was like kind of like doing with their new line was like tire printing and like kind of just making all the detail more in line with their whole brand. So I'm assuming maybe these are just early renders before they actually finish that stuff. But there's a Mercedes-AMG GT3 Craft Bamboo from 2019 Macau, Nissan GTR Nismo GT3 from 2018 Macau, and then Porsche 911 Bamboo Racing from 2017 Macau. So hopefully they add tire printing to them at least because they kind of just look like the old Sparky stuff right now. But do you follow Pop Race now? I haven't been covering Pop Race. I haven't really been paying attention to a lot of their products lately. Same thing with like Inno 64. As far as I know, they're still kind of being a little sketchy with licensing, but I'm also starting to realize that it all kind of just is subjective at this point because there's so many aftermarket companies that it's difficult to license everything. So I don't know. I'm kind of in a weird place with Pop Race and Inno 64. As of right now, I'm not covering them, but that could change in the future. What's weird is they already released those three Sparks years ago. Really? I wonder if I got like. No, there's no way. Yeah, this
Bro, get
was
bamboozled.
these pre-orders were posted over the past couple weeks. I wonder if they're redoing them. I mean, it does have the numbers right there. So 129, 161, and 170. I wonder if maybe they're re-releasing them with better quality. I don't know. I guess anything could go with it, but I feel like if they were re-releasing them, they'd at least have the, like the updated details in the pre-order photos, but I don't know. It's interesting. They also did have some event models. So these were for the GT show. They had two Porsche 917Ks. Very, very cool. And they look really good with like the tire printing and everything. But yeah, event models. I wish they would have released these as just regular versions because these are kind of like legendary racers. But I also do understand that these shows are also very popular and a lot of people do attend. So fair enough. And then there was their this was another one they did for the GT show. And then here was their event model that they did for HEC. And it comes on this cool base with the figure and everything. Very cool. Look Smart. Look Smart's kind of grouped in with Spark because they kind of do operate like they're all kind of like a group brand at this point. So here's a pre-order from Look Smart. You'll notice like the whole pre-order photo and the way they like format it is the same as Spark. But yeah, there's the 2026 Ferrari. So looks like they'll be doing the Ferraris as well, just through Look Smart, as Look Smart has that license. So there's that. They also did put out the pre-order for this Ferrari 296 GT3, winner of Nürburgring 2023. That one is pretty cool. I just wish these Look Smart models were a little bit cheaper because they are pretty pricey. From what I've seen, they're like $40 a piece. So
I
yeah,
mean,
I'll try to get my hands on some of their stuff at some point because I do really like these 296 GT3s. I was holding out hope that Tarmac Works was going to make them, but there hasn't really been any news on that. So, but yeah, there's the two Look Smart pre-orders. Moving on, one singular piece of news for Mini Champs. They released this event model for HEC, and that was pretty much all I had seen from them this past month. So there is that. Moving on. Ignition model, I mentioned it at the beginning of the live. I'm sure some of you weren't here though, but the Mini GT top secret VR32 got canceled, and so did all three of the Ignition models ones that they had on pre-orders. So, like I said, I don't know exactly what's going on. I don't have any insider information with Nissan or anything, but I'm assuming that Nissan just doesn't like top secret at the moment. So yeah, so canceled models from them, but they did have this one. This is another event model from Ignition model for the Manila Auto Show. Very, very cool orange RWB 993. And then they also did have a booth set up at HEC with some really cool RWB stuff. So yeah, the Valent one is awesome. The orange one looks really cool. They've got this blue one here, and then this like army green one as well. Their stuff looks really nice. I actually have my first Ignition model coming, and it actually is one of these RWBs. It's a black one, so I'm excited to look at that. They've got a cool Super right here. I'm not sure which body kit that is, but it looks good. Tomica Limited Vintage. I guess that was it for Ignition model, but we'll get into Tomica now. They did have a new pre-order wave. So this is the Leopard tank. Very, very cool. I was showing,
that'd be
yeah,
that'd be sick to have.
yeah, I was showing him this yesterday, and he was like, "Is that a tank? That's awesome." So yeah, the tanks are really cool. I like the military stuff they're doing. So there is that. Next up, we have this guy right here. This is a Hino Profia 40-foot sea container trailer, and it's in the Toho Car Corporation theme. So there's that. We also have a couple Porsches. So the blue one is a Porsche 911 1965 in light blue. And then the red one is a Porsche 911S from 1967 in red. The red Supra was Max Orito body kit. Oh, okay. Max Orito. Max Orito. I'm looking that up because I actually
I was gonna have to write that down for the video.
don't think I've ever seen that before. Is that an aftermarket company? It is. Oh. That is actually really cool. That is really cool. I might have to pick that up. Anyways, moving on, here are these two right here. So the light blue one is a what does it say? It's a Toyota Crown sedan, but it's It's part of a diorama collection. But yeah, it's a taxi in light blue, and then the dark blue one is Toyota Crown Sedan Super Deluxe in dark blue. Then we have these two. The gray one is a Honda Street V four-wheel drive 1997 in gray, and the white one is a Honda Street G Raccoon four-wheel drive 1994. Some of the names of these old Japanese cars just crack me up. But yeah, that's the Raccoon and the Street V. So pretty cool there. We've also got a couple Mitsubishis. So the yellow one, oh, I guess they're both the same thing for this one. So they are both a Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 9 GSR 2005, and then of course one in blue and one in yellow. So there's those. We've got some stuff for. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. So this was I believe this was a HEC Tomica Limited Vintage. I did not see any other photos of their display at that event or any other event that happened recently. This was the only photo I saw of Tomica Limited Vintage. So I figured I might as well share it. But yeah, they've got some Jaguar E-Type. So there's a Series 1 Roadster and a Series 1 Coupe. I think those are going to be really, really cool. So we'll have to keep an eye out for pre-orders for those. But yeah, did you get anything from HEC event? I have not bought any HEV stuff yet. I do really want the Tarmac Works Bentley that they released. The AR Box F80 would be cool to get, but most of this stuff is just really expensive, and I've been trying to calm down on like event models and stuff. So, but yeah, no, I haven't gotten anything yet. Next up for BMC. So we've got two Honda Civics. They're both the Honda EF2 in like a custom body kit, and they've got like a bunch of swappable parts and stuff. Pretty cool. There's another one in Champagne. I think this one is a Tokyo Station exclusive, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, that one's pretty cool. And then they also have this right here. So it's an A31 Safiro Custom. So this is a Nissan. And this kind of goes back into the whole point with the canceled Top Secret stuff. So BMC has been making Top Secret stuff for Nissan. I've always really liked BMC. I don't have a lot of their stuff. But they are still making Top Secret Nissans, and it appears that their stuff is no longer licensed by Nissan. So this is like that gray area that we get into, because as you guys know, I really only like to support authentic brands that license everything. But it's like, what do you do in this scenario? You know, I'm pretty sure Nissan has now cut off Top Secret. So how are we going to get Top Secret stuff? You know, so for the time being, BMC is sticking around. I'm not gonna like do away with them because they're not licensing Nissan, because this whole thing is just weird. But yeah, so these were their two event models for HEC. They've got a BNR 34 and a Top Secret 30 R35. So there's those two. It looks like the whole chassis comes off the base, and it's got like a really detailed like engine and like all that stuff. So that is kind of cool. Anyways, going back, they also have this Suzuki. Is it Suzuki or is it Isuzu? I think I was thinking of the Hobby Japan. But anyways, the D-Max in a police livery, so that one is kind of cool. But yeah, the Safiro does not appear to be licensed by Nissan, unfortunately. So yeah, I don't really know. I don't know. Anyways, moving on, they also do have this event model for the Manila Auto Show. Isuzu, thank you. It is the Toyota Fortuner 2018 in like a Gazoo racing theme. So that one is pretty cool as well. Cool Car Show 2026. They're going to have this Honda Civic EG6 from 1993 Japan Touring Car Championship. So that one is pretty cool as well. And then they also had some stuff on display at HEC. So as you'll see, again, there's no mention of Nissan anywhere with this Top Secret stuff, which I believe they've always had Nissan approval before this whole thing happened. So I don't know. I guess it's just one of those things where it's like, do you part way with Nissan or do you not make Top Secret stuff? You know what I mean? But anyways, here's their stuff. There's that A31. I think this is actually a different one that was on pre-order. Looks pretty cool though. They make really interesting stuff. They definitely take a different approach to 1/64 scale than a lot of other companies do. But yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff. Toyota 11s. I think those were they did some event models for those in the past. Yeah, Daihatsu Charade is a really cool kind of niche card that it's cool that we have companies making stuff like that. So, anyways, moving on to Hobby Japan, they have a couple new pre-orders for their initial D series. We've got the Toyota Sprinter Trueno AE86 and the Toyota Corolla Levin AE86. So pretty cool if you're into initial D. They also have this. So JDM64 is Hobby Japan's sub-series as far as I can tell. And it's like I think a little bit cheaper than their normal line. And they still look like they're pretty nicely detailed and everything. But yeah, just kind of like a side brand. But yeah, this is the Civic Type R Mugen Group B 2024 in matte silver. So there's that. Also, they have these. So these are the Suzuki Swift Sport ZC32S. And there's 4 of them. So there's one in Champion Yellow, Premium Silver, Show White, Pearl, and Boost Blue Pearl. These are really cool. Again, just this is kind of like something we don't really see a lot. Nobody really makes a lot of Suzuki stuff. So I like when brands kind of branch off and do more of this not popular type of thing. But anyways, and they also put out a pre-order announcement for these. These are the Suzuki Swift Sport ZC33Ss. So yeah, Champion Yellow, Pure White Pearl, Premium Silver Metallic, and Speedy Blue Metallic. So there's those. They also put out this pre-order for these Toyota Land Cruiser 70s. Couple different colors. So we've got beige, super white 2, and attitude black mica. These look really nice. So there's those. And Barago, I've got just this right here. This was all that I saw. Barago Premium. I know some people have really been liking the Barago Premium stuff. It's not quite up to my level as far as premium diecast is concerned. They definitely don't look bad. But they're, to me, this is just kind of like a good alternative to like this should be what your step out of like a step up out of like collecting Hot Wheels should be. So like these are pretty good. They're just not quite to my level to where like I'm personally going to collect them, but they are going to do these Lamborghini Temerarios and the Ferrari Daytona SB3. So there are those. I didn't like the look of the cube cars, but once I bought one, I loved the solid weight and size of them. I'm only collecting a few of them. Yeah, I still don't know about the cube cars. Um, I don't know if your comments are coming in from uh earlier, like just now coming in, or if you're rewatching, but yeah, I don't know about the cube cars. And yeah, 200 I assume you're talking about the Ferrari F80. $200 is pretty insane for that. That's the secondary price is right now. But anyways, moving on. So we've got some green, and this is, if Chris, if you're still here, this is what I was talking about with like the Greenlight Premier stuff. This looks like Greenlight, like the Greenlight Premium line. It seems like they've changed their name to Greenlight Premier. But anyways, so we've got a Nissan Skyline GTR BNR 34. I'm pretty sure this is an event model from somewhere, but it doesn't say. Um, yeah, shit, I don't know. Pretty sure this was an event model for something because I've got a couple other ones here as well. I think these were all HEC. I could be wrong, but they also do have this Chevy van NYPD livery, so that is pretty cool. And then also this 1967 Mustang Eleanor. And like I said, okay, so this one actually does say HEC on the bottom of it. I don't know what the other two were from, but as far as I know, these are all the Greenlight Premiums that are being made by Motor Helix, I think, but I don't know. It's got the same packaging that they've been having, that they've been using for the premium stuff, so I don't really know. But anyways, moving on. Kyosho did release this at HEC. I feel like they've already released this, but maybe I'm wrong. But this is the like the motion lighting system things for the that Kyosho's been doing. They haven't really been releasing like just any regular diecast much anymore, but they have been doing these light up models and they're kind of cool. I don't It's a gimmick that I personally don't really care about, but for those that do, they do seem like they're pretty good quality. So, oh, I got you. Okay. ATS. So this, I believe this is the last brand that we're covering for tonight. And this is a brand that's kind of come out of nowhere, but they've kind of shown to be pretty decent in terms of price to quality, and they also have shown me that everything that they've been doing is going to be legit. As you can see, they've got a big initial D collab now, and every pre-order that they've put out and everything's officially licensed. So I'm definitely down to support these guys. They seem like they're doing good stuff. But this was their exhibition debut for HEC, I believe. they'll be releasing these later, but it's the Mazda MX-5, and this is all part of Initial D 30th anniversary, which is pretty cool. So there's that one. This one as well from Initial D. This is the Mazda RX-7 FC3S, and again, this is one of the ones that they sold at HEC. I think just kind of as a first release. It looks really good. Their stuff looks awesome. So there's that. They also had this one. This is a Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 3 GSR, and I believe this was actually one of their event models. This is ATS right now, ATS models. We covered Hobby Japan a few minutes ago if you want to go back. But yeah, ATS. It's like I said, it's a brand that has kind of come out of nowhere, but I've really been impressed with the stuff they're doing, and they seem pretty good. So anyways, here was their little display at HEC. So you can see they've got the Lancers and everything. They also have some GR Supers as well, which is cool. And then, of course, they've been doing Aston Martin stuff. So they've got these DB5s here, and they look really, really nice. Like, especially the wheels. It's a little hard to tell in this photo, but the wheels are like actually like the wire wheels that they used on it, like super, super detailed. So I'm really looking forward. It looks like they've got some Subaru BRZs in the back as well with opening hoods. So yeah, an interesting brand. I've definitely been keeping my eye on them. It looks like they're doing some pretty nice stuff. There's the Supras and some more Lancers back there. Really, really cool. And then I believe this was also one of the models that they were selling at the event to Toyota Sprinter Trento A86. And then there's Subaru Impreza. So yeah, lots of cool stuff from them. Not really any like super new stuff that we haven't ever seen from any other brands, but it seems like they're doing a good job with stuff. So we'll be covering them. And they also had some really cool dioramas, like some drifting dioramas set up with their Initial
Oh,
D
that's
stuff.
pretty sick.
Yeah. So I appreciate what they're doing. They seem like a pretty good brand to me. So yeah, and I think that was everything. 260 slides for this one. I seriously do think this was the longest like string of news that we've had in a month. So yeah, that is everything. I don't know how many people we have in here, but if you've sat with me through all of this, I definitely do appreciate you. So if anybody has any final thoughts or comments or questions or anything, let me know. I do have to get off here pretty soon in a few minutes because I got to start getting ready for work. But this was fun. This took a lot longer than I thought it was going to, if I'm being honest. But like I said, that was a lot of news to go through. So awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Makes
Yeah, thank
me
you for being here.
sitting here through this all makes me more excited for Forza.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna post the VOD. I will try to get it done tonight. Kind of just depends on how fast YouTube processes super long live streams. I've never done this before, so I'm kind of learning all this stuff. But yeah, we'll definitely post that, and I'll do the regular news video in a couple days as well for anybody that doesn't want to watch the live. So you took some days off for Forza? That's awesome. Kenny was talking about doing that too. So I need to get on and pre-order Forza, but I'm really excited for it. I'm actually planning on streaming a little bit of it too. Probably not a whole lot, but I'm so excited for Forza. It's gonna be a blast. Early release starts on the 15th, I believe. Mini GT is way behind on deliveries. Purple Liberty Walk 720S took over a year. The purple Liberty Walk 720S has been out for a bit. It might not be out in the States yet. I can't remember. But yeah, there's a lot of castings Mini GT's behind on. Like I said earlier, if you were here, they have that in fact, I could probably hop on Pulse Drivers and look it up because I don't remember exactly which one it was. But they had a Porsche 911 GT3 RS that I think is still in the 800s that still hasn't been released yet. I wonder if the top secret Nissans that are out are going up in price. They could go up in price, like the stuff that's still licensed by Top Secret and Nissan. It definitely could. I don't typically speculate too much on like pricing and stuff because like I don't do this as an investment per se, but some of that stuff that exists that is licensed could very well go up in price. You are right. Let me do a search. But yeah, Mini GT is behind on a lot of. Yeah, this one right here. Number 853, this white one with the indigo blue wheels. This one should have been out like a year ago, I'm pretty sure. It's insane. I was hoping that their exclusive Liberty Walk partnership, the fact that that came to an end, I was hoping would help them kind of get back on track, but we'll see what'll happen. It's yeah, I don't know. Plus, like now they've got cube cars, and they've been working on the 007 stuff. Mini GT has a lot going on, and they put out a somebody did a Q&A with Glenn at HEC, and he mentioned something about how um, every mold that they use for a casting can only make about 300 casts. So like 3,000 models. Sorry, I meant 3,000. So every time they make 3,000 models, they have to basically remake the mold. And so he was saying that sometimes there's a model that they make that they have to make hundreds of thousands of them. So I think Mini GT is going to start working on their productivity capacity soon so that they can actually get stuff out on a timely manner. But yeah, I don't know. It looks like there's some new Mini GT news that just dropped. Actually, let me check Instagram real quick. Oh, let's see here.
Oh,
Oh, yes, yes.
you touched my tra-la-la.
Yeah, Mini GT just posted a new thing literally like right after I started this stream. Let me here, since we're still here, I'll show you guys real quick. Let me upload it. Let me upload this pic to my PC and I'll show you. This is actually pretty cool too.
It was about halfway through the stream is when that was posted, I think.
So they posted this right here, and they said Mini GT collaboration with Kazama Racing 2026. Mini GT is proud to announce a new partnership with Kazama Racing for the 2026 Formula Drift Japan season. With accomplished Formula Drift driver Ken Gushi behind the wheel, the team's machine this year is the striking Lexus LBX drift car, finished in a bold red and black livery with sharp racing graphics. The Mini GT logo is featured on the hood and sides, standing out against the aggressive racing design. Huh. That's actually pretty cool. Equipped with the signature Kazama widebody kit, the LBX is built to make a statement in both style and on track. We look forward to seeing Ken Gushi and Kazama Racing in action and an exciting season ahead in Formula Drift Japan. That's actually pretty cool. I dig that. That is really cool. So yeah, that's the newest bit of news that just dropped, I guess. That's so funny. But yeah, I think that is probably going to be about it for me. Yeah, they're definitely far behind. It's been pretty rough lately, so. But yeah, I do appreciate you guys showing up. It really means a lot to me. This was definitely fun, and I want to start streaming more. I'm sure we'll definitely do the news videos every month. I'll do a live stream for the news every month, and then definitely wouldn't be opposed to doing live streams for other stuff as well. Like I said, I'm gonna be streaming a little bit of Forza Horizon 6 when it comes out, and I'm sure we'll find some other stuff to do too. But anyways, like I said, I do have to get going now because I got to get ready for work. But once again, thank you all for hanging out with me while we do this. And yeah, I think that's about it. I'll catch you guys later.